Today, I'm so excited to be joining Abby from Rooted in Rest and Jessica from the Walduck Way on talking about what is our favorite subject to teach in homeschool. Yay! Now, unfortunately, I am not teaching my favorite subject to teach in homeschool this year because my daughter is in 6th grade and we needed to move on to something else. But I did teach it for 3 years prior to that, and it is American history. I love teaching American history, and today I want to talk about why. So I made a list of the reasons why I love teaching American history to talk about this, because I think that I could go on for so long on this subject, but I'm going to stick to my list. The number one reason is because we live here. I love being able to teach my daughter about the country that we live in, about the history of how the country was established and why it was established, and then some of the dark periods that it went through but grew from. And we need to understand our history so that we won't repeat this history, so that the next generation doesn't repeat some of the mistakes that previous generations made. We need to understand what happened, why it happened, and how to avoid it in the future. And number two, I want my daughter to understand the importance of our government. And what better way to understand it than understand how our country was founded? No, the founding fathers weren't perfect, but when they put together our government, you can see that they were really trying to have a government that was founded on biblical principles. I want her to understand the presidents and the decisions that presidents have made and how those have impacted our country, and therefore it is so vital to vote. Understanding American history is vital for our future, for the future of our country, and that is one of the main reasons that I like teaching American history. And on top of that, number three, there are so many supplements that are available, and we do love our supplements in our homeschool. So today I also want to talk about some of our favorite supplements that we brought in when we were doing American history. Now, these are supplements that I pulled from our bins, and so they're things that we really enjoyed. They're the supplements that I kept, the ones that we didn't sell or gift to somebody else. First up is the Evan Moor History Pockets. Now, I didn't keep the actual history pockets, but I did keep the history pockets that she did. So we did one on the American Revolution. So she had the soldier's life, and these are great hands-on activities for your child. I do have a kinesthetic learner, so anything that I can find that's hands-on is something that we really enjoy. She also did one for the Civil War. Now, we didn't use the pockets exactly as they were meant to be, but she did most of the activities within them. And those Evan Moor history pockets are some of our favorite supplements for American history. From Where'd You Learn That? We utilize their United States collection of songs. This song study was amazing. We loved the activities that went along with it and really understanding where some of these patriotic songs that we hear all the time, where they came from and what inspired them. So this was a great addition to our American history, was the United States Song Study Collection. Next up are the Who Was books. There are so many Who Was books, and we loved reading them. Who Was books were perfect for us in that extra information for American history. Now, they are not written from a Christian worldview, so you do need to keep that in mind, but they also spark those conversations for this is what this book says. Does it follow with the Bible? Is this something that we need to take as fact? Or is this something that somebody's opinion? And so the Who Was book were resources that were great, and we were able to expand on how they are a secondary source, and therefore you have to take that information and understand where it's coming from, just like you do with textbooks. And that was great to be able to include that in our American history study. Next up is the Heritage Letter. The Heritage Letter is a subscription service where you receive a letter and information about the individual each month. And I have this just in a binder by date so that when we are at that time period, we can look at the different letter. I also include in this binder letters from History by Mail. History by Mail is a subscription service, again, where you get information on American historical events. This is a little bit of an older age range than the Heritage Letter. With History by Mail, you will receive information on a specific historical event. This will include a summary, and then you also receive something that is a copy of an original. So for example, this is the transcript of Mary Catherine Goddard's petition for reinstatement as postmistress of Baltimore. And then what you actually get as a copy is the letter that she wrote to the Senate of the United States. I love both of these. I love History by Mail as well as the Heritage Letter. The Heritage Letter, again, is from the perspective of a historical American figure. Both of these are wonderful supplements to utilize with American history. When we get into world history that is focusing on the time of these letters, I can pull them out and we can talk about world history and what was going on in America at the same time and just really try to make those connections. As you can tell, I do love supplements with history. If you are interested in more supplements that we enjoy, and we're doing world history right now, please make sure you are subscribed, because I will be coming out with review videos for our world history and the supplements that we used. The next reason that I love teaching American history are the read-alouds. We read amazing read-alouds with our American history. My daughter's favorite one, without a doubt, is The Not So Boring Letters of a Private Nobody. This is one of her favorite books that we have read in the past few years in our homeschool. This is one that we are keeping for a while and that she still refers back to some of the stories in it. So I love the read-alouds that we were really able to utilize in American history in talking about some of the scary times of American history without it being quite so scary. Also, I would be remiss in talking about American history without Mr. Betts. The songs from Mr. Betts, historical parodies, made the biggest difference in our homeschool. My daughter learned so much about Jamestown, Plymouth, World Wars, just from these parodies that we listened to in our homeschool. She can still sing quite a few of them. And the field trips are awesome. And we love the fact that we live in an area where we did get to experience quite a few of these wonderful field trips between museums and Jamestown, Yorktown, Williamsburg, Gettysburg, Fort Sumter. There's just so much rich history that we were able to experience, and that is something that we absolutely loved when we were studying American history, and we look forward to again when we study American history in high school. So American history is definitely my favorite homeschool subject that we get to teach. I just really enjoy it, and I think it is an extremely important subject for my daughter. Thank you again to Abby from Rooted in Rest and Jessica from the Walduck Way for hosting this collab. I will make sure that I'll link their channels and the playlist down below so you can find out what are the favorite subjects and why of a number of different homeschool YouTube mamas. I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.